Thank you for tuning in. You're in for an educational treat. What is the most hilariously inaccurate fact someone has told you? My roommate tried to convince me that there are chimpanzee people in the jungle because isolated tribes are getting it on with the monkeys. I tried to explain how species reproduce and quickly realized he thinks you can bang a horse and get a centaur. You cannot, in fact, bang a horse and get a centaur baby. I've tried, like every way I could think of. Calm down, Mr. Hands. It's possible to breathe underwater. She then tried to demonstrate and snorted a bunch of lake water up her nose. She was 14 at the time. That's like the truism of babies born in a birthing pool can live their whole lives underwater if they don't surface and take a breath. Well yeah, just their whole life is incredibly short. Build a man a fire and he'll be warm for the night. Set a man on fire and he'll be warm for the rest of his life. Peacocks don't have sex. A female gets pregnant when it eats the teardrops of the male. Nature is beautiful. An old boss explained to me one day that hearing men sing causes women's brains to release some kind of sex hormone that makes us crazy. This is why girls and women screamed and fainted over the Beatles back in the day and why we get all hysterical at concerts. He said it in this really condescending tone, too, like he was dropping some deep knowledge on me that I probably wouldn't understand, but that's how he explained most things anyway. Freaking hated that idiot. But men also get hysterical at concerts. Like, there's a lot of photographic and video evidence of this. Not me but my mum. She was walking with a group of friends on a popular trail in the UK. She has quite an outspoken friend, let's call her Sally. The group saw a number of Chinese tourists taking pictures of the sheep along the trail. One of the group asked, "I wonder why they are all taking pictures of sheep all the time." To which Sally replies, "It's because they don't have sheep in China." The group all believed Sally, and thought it was an amazing fact. My mum decided to regurgitate the fact one dinner time saying that Sally had told her so. I called bull poop so googled it there and then. Turns out China has the largest population of sheep in the entire world. My mum has never lived that down. I was told random strangers would offer me drugs my whole life. Did you know if you take acid you have a 1/5 chance of jumping through a window? /S. I've taken acid over 50 times and never once thought that would be a fun or good idea. I was about 2 hits deep and I was standing on the roof smoking a cigarette, second-story window let out onto the roof. My depth perception was freaking with me because I remember thinking that looks really close followed rapidly by I'm on the ducking roof, don't step off. You can get black lung disease from overcooking the marshmallows for s'mores. Did anyone mention that marshmallows aren't meant to be inhaled? Well, not with that attitude. My cousin's wife told me that blue-eyed babies can't wear Pampers diapers because they're all allergic. This is just so out of left field. Like, what was her reasoning? Where did she learn this? She isn't very smart in general and she was basing it off of her experience with her only child. She also told me you can't drink too much water when you're pregnant because you'll have too much amniotic fluid which could hurt the baby. I had another glass of water immediately after. Africa is one country. We had literally just finished a geography segment about the countries in Africa. They must have never watched Carmen Sandiego growing up. Getting stuck with the Africa map for the final test was the kiss of death. My elementary school textbooks were so outdated they referred to Rhodesia, and the teachers didn't mention that they were wrong. My parents noticed this and made a stink about it. The band name KISS is an acronym for Knights in Satan's Service. AC/DC equals Anti-Christian Devil Children. Slayer equals Satan laughs as you eternally rot, all told to us without irony by a Sunday school teacher, circa 1987. Okay, but Knights in Satan's Service sounds like a badass band. Good name for a KISS cover band. Goats lay eggs. A several-minute argument followed, and I did not convince him he was wrong. I work in meat processing. Not that that's necessary to know that goats don't lay eggs, but it just made the argument all the more ridiculous. I'd literally seen goats born live countless times, and yet he argued. I also worked at a caviar bar for a while, and many times had to hear from people who were horrified we were eating dolphin eggs. Beluga. I've heard that mahi-mahi is dolphin more times than I can count. And from people who've eaten it even. Meant whale eggs in the first edit. Mahi on the brain. Very few mammals lay eggs. People are weird, man. Soap makes the water molecules smaller, that's how it cleans. PIM particles are actually just soap. I always like if they are undercover law enforcement and you ask, they have to tell you. I've heard a similar fact, that if they are in the Illuminati and you ask 3 times, they can't deny it on the 3rd time. Ha, who comes up with this stuff? Are you the Illuminati? No. That masturbating will give you hairy palms. I had a teacher in high school tell us this, and the number of guys and girls who checked their hands immediately was hilarious. I had to really slam on the brain filter to keep from doing it myself, but you better believe I examined my hands thoroughly in the bathroom after class. I really hope someone glued hair onto their palms ready for the next class with that teacher. Just with a Chewbacca costume and tell the teacher it ain't just the palms. The shape of the banana and the way it fits your hand so well are proof that God exists. He stopped using that argument when one of our coworkers pointed out that dicks fit hands pretty well too. Does he just not know about artificial selection? Before humans started breeding them for desirable traits, wolves would regularly kill people, corn had like 5 kernels per ear, cabbage, broccoli and cauliflower didn't exist, and watermelon was hard and bitter. To be fair though, the original domesticated banana, Musa acuminata, is fairly similar in shape to the modern Cavendish banana, but not the same. They're too short to hold with your whole hand and still have more than a bite or 2 sticking out. This is a story that is too long to type in full, but I once got into a disagreement with some random dude at an A&W because he thought that 1/4 was more than 1/3. His reasoning was that since 1/4 has a 4 and 1/3 has a 3, and 4 is 1 unit higher than 3, then 1/4 is more than 1/3. The worst part was that in order to prove him wrong, I asked the cashier girl which weighed more. She didn't know. Then I asked the next person in line. That idiot said 1/4. Do you have any idea how infuriating it is to have a complete idiot think that he's smarter than you because everyone in the room is just as dumb as he is? This is exactly why Wendy's switched their standard burger from 1/3 to 1/4. Too many people complained that 1/3 was smaller. My mom told me Michael Jackson died from eating too many potato chips, in an attempt to get me to stop snacking. My dad told me that tongue piercings caused heart failure really commonly. My mom told me that writing on your hand was the same as ingesting poison. Wait till your mom hears about tattoos. Gay men have sex by slapping their ass cheeks together. I died laughing. When I was a kid I thought gay men did it by just whacking their dongs together and couldn't work out why my mate's older brother laughed so much when I said it once. The internet is in the sky. I explained how it's in the ocean. They ganged up on me and said it's called the cloud because it's in the sky, duh. It was 3 of them versus 1 of me. I walked away losing the debate. There's power in numbers, folks. I'm wrong, I maintain. Clouds come from oceans, it's science. Those 3 probably make up 1 brain cell. My parents tried to convince me that homosexuality is caused by vaccines. Little do they know that I'm gay even though they didn't have me vaccinated as a kid. Why do all these straight parents keep having gay babies? Lol. My ex argued that fossils weren't actually old and those creatures never existed, they were just stuck there to confuse us. It's to test your faith. Yeah, no thanks, I have no desire to be gaslit by a sky wizard. What would have been your answer or question? Leave it in the comments below. Slap that like and subscribe button for more, and check out the link in the video description for even more answers. Peace out, and catch you in the next video.